Hey everyone, it's me. It's been a while since I've done a vlog. I know. I don't know. It's a mix of not having anything to talk about and just being exhausted from life. And I know I look like a bum today. I didn't even realize I had this gold necklace on. And then I put on this necklace and I left the house and I was like, you know what? F it. I'm in my favorite little spot because it is 92 degrees today, which honestly isn't that bad. We've had a relatively cool year this year, except for that 1 week the air conditioner was out. Then it was like 104 degrees, but since we've got the air conditioner, it's been under 90. 90 and under, which is crazy. I don't know if we're getting ready for a really bad August or if it's just what it is this year. And I know there's a lot of stuff going on. Like, I know the Midwest has had a heat wave. There's all that flooding and just like a moment of silence for the people in Texas. It's so sad. Okay. And I think North Carolina's having some stuff going on too. So I gotta check on Larry. See if he's, I don't know what part of how close he is to that stuff going on, but any of my friends in the Texas area that live down there, let me know you're okay. I know there's a couple of you who live down there, so you know, and now my stuff just seems small to that, but I will say that I know I look like a mom. I was wearing this shirt in another video the other day, but I literally just threw it on for the video and then took it off, and it was sitting there on top of the washer ready to be worn again, and I had to go run errands. So like, I had to go turn in my paperwork for work, my time slips for work, and then I had to go get the dog's heartworm medicine, heartworm / flea stuff. And before anybody goes off about how bad these are, everything is bad for you, okay? Yeah. But you know what's really bad? Having heartworm and ticks and fleas. So, okay. Anyways, I have a bunch of stuff that people have asked, and I don't know how much of it I'm gonna do because I don't want to make this video too long. My phone has been having issues. YouTube has been having issues uploading longer videos, and I make weird little notes. I love these though. These I can't remember where I got the Quartz and Rainbows. Okay, Quartz and Rainbows. That's where I got these. These are awesome. So I barely use them, but I put my YouTube notes on them. So, and sometimes I put my actual to-do list on them. Let's see. I don't even know what my notes say. That's so sad, huh? I was like, complaining versus stating facts. I think I was talking about, like, somebody had been like, oh, why do you always complain in your vlogs? It's like, it's not. Like, I'm not complaining. Like, okay, I'm saying how I'm tired and I'm depressed today. Not like depressed, like, but, you know, I'm sad. And I've been over-exaggerating my sadness. I've been joking a lot because I do that. I use dark humor to, like, cope with stuff. So with Josh, you know, and Kat, I was like, it's the saddest day, I'm the saddest person ever, and they're all like, oh, what's wrong? And I go, my menopause countdown is restarted. After 3 months, I was so hopeful, and, you know, I am disappointed, I am sad, I was really hoping, I even had hot flashes, but no, so I feel like shit today because of that. You know, like, one, the letdown, two, the normal stuff that comes along with that time of month. So, you know, I just kind of like I said, I kind of look like shit today, and whatever. Life happens. That was when my next note, life happens. Like, when I'm just saying, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm not neurotypical. I'm neurodivergent. So, like, when I talk about things, I just say things. And I was watching this video recently where things that can't talk. I just said that word. Okay. Neurodivergent people say things and they're taken wrong. I was watching a video and he's like, oh, you like my haircut? Oh, it's shorter than before. Oh, you don't like it? I did not say that. I just said it was shorter. And that's the thing that gets me in trouble a lot, is because, like, I say stuff and people take it the wrong way. Like, they think I'm complaining or bitching or just being rude, or they read between the lines. Like, I say something, like I say maybe, and people assume that's a no, and it's just literally just a maybe. I just don't want to say yes because I don't want to make a promise I can't keep. So I say maybe, and that is never automatically a no. And I know when we were growing up and our parents would say, oh, maybe, we'll see, it meant no. When I say maybe we'll see, it just means that, like, maybe we'll see. I have to, like, look at things and plan, like I don't know. So when I'm stating things, when I'm talking about things, most of the time I'm just talking about things. Like, I have this one person I talk to, and one day I said something on Facebook, and then she started giving him advice, and I was like, I wasn't looking for advice, I was just venting. She goes, well, venting is always looking for advice. And I'm like, no, venting is my first step in figuring out the problem myself, and I need to be dramatic and vent about it, and it's just the way my brain processes and gets things done. But she's very argumentative and very I don't know, she believes everything that she thinks is the way the world is. So, and she's also not neurodivergent, so it might be part of her autism. You know what I mean? And they clash. And I still talk to this person. Like, I'm like, whatever, that's just the way she is. She does not watch my YouTube, but that's okay if she does. Let's see. And I also put, like, I think people are too obsessed with, like, happy face and being perfect and putting on a smile, pretending that, let's see, sad days don't exist, or you gotta take pills if you're depressed, or this and that. And I do know that pills can help people, but not everything is because of needs a pill. I mean, we are living in very depressing times. We are living in a very stressful period. There's a lot going on to be depressed about. The way people act, the consumerism, like the bigger, the better, like, oh, if you don't have a new car, and people just are so cruel. And I'm not talking about to me, because maybe they are, but it goes over my head most of the time. And honestly, like, if somebody wants to diss my car because it's not new or whatever, oh well, I have a car, and even if somebody doesn't have a car, you know what, that's where their life is. I'm not gonna make fun of them for it. And I don't understand why people need to make themselves feel better by putting down others. And that's part of the reason why I'm not big on the girl world community, because that's how I see it. I see it as bullying. And I know people are like, well, you're taking their sides. No, I'm not. I just, like, wish the world would stop making stupid people famous. Like, I don't like reality TV. And I know everybody has their something, but I just wish we would put more emphasis on people who are doing good things and making them famous. Like the little tiny YouTube channel with a girl who may have lost, or a guy even, who may have lost 50, 100 pounds and changed their life, and they only have like 100 subscribers because they're not dramatic. And I understand, like, if I wanted to be fake, I could cause a lot of chaos and I could cause a lot of drama, and my channel would probably blow up. I'm just not interested in being inauthentic. This is me. This is 100% me. And if people don't like me, oh well. I don't have a high production value. Somebody was saying something about the way the video was produced. Oh, this was produced in pre-record. Everything is pre-recorded. Even if I put this out 10 minutes after I'm done, it was still pre-recorded. But I don't have a production team. It's literally just me. I do all of it. I do the editing. I know it's not the greatest editing. I'm still learning myself. This is a hobby. You know, I do everything. I do my, well, I don't use the Twitter for this. I do my own promoting for every business I have. Nobody helps me anymore. Like back in the day when I used to pay my sister's phone bill, she helped me with my Twitters. She would tweet for me, and I would pay her phone bill, and I would pay her like $25 a month to help. She didn't do that much. She only tweeted like twice a day, you know, for like 2 minutes a time. I don't know. But I paid her phone bill, and I paid her internet, and I paid her like $25 extra a month back when we used to talk. It was a lot of help to have somebody help with that, but you know, like, there's just nobody I trust anymore, and I don't want to bother people because I don't really have that kind of money at the moment. I do, but I don't. I don't know how to explain it. Like people think when I complain about money, it means that I'm broke. I mean, I'm broke in my sense of the word broke. Like, okay, when I complain about the insurance stuff, which is hilarious because I sat here and I call my insurance every day trying to figure out these things. And I'm trying to work with these denial letters and stuff for my insurance, and I haven't been able, stuff is still the same. I haven't been able to see my specialist because my insurance isn't covering half the stuff. And yes, I do plan on eventually switching, but if I switch right now before these other bills are resolved, and I'm still fighting them, I might end up owing all that money. So it's kind of like one of those things. And plus I have to look into other insurances to see what would be the best for me in my rural area. See, that's the other problem. Like, my insurance now is really good if you live in the city. Like, there's a gym membership. None of the gym. The closest gym that took the membership was an hour and a half away, but it's closed now. So, you know, that doesn't do me very much good. I don't know. I mean, it'd be lovely, but oh well, it is what it is. I'd rather live rural, to be honest. I don't think I could ever do city life again. That was another thing that was on my notes. Let's see. And I did have somebody ask me about my family. Like, they're like, well, what does your family think about your work? And my first question would be like, well, which work, which job? Because well, one, I don't have any family except for my mom, and two, I have several jobs, but like, I don't think anybody has a problem with the caregiving. And I imagine they're talking about the phone acting and the videos, not these videos. Though I do have people who have issues with my YouTubing. I actually had a friend like years ago stop talking to me because I was doing YouTube. But back then my channel, it was my other channel, it was more geared towards like fetish and like getting on Tosh.0, and I was over the top, and I was loud, and I was kind of crazy, and I was it kind of like woof. And it's funny because I actually got that channel back. It was shut down years ago, and I got an email about a week and a half ago, and they're like, oh, we've looked at your appeals. Okay. That I put in like 6 years ago. And we've decided to reinstate your channel. And I'm like, okay, but half my videos are gone. So, and it's weird because they were just food reviews. And I have no idea what was so wrong with them. But apparently, there was something. I mean, I was dressed, I wasn't acting weird, I wasn't swearing, I don't know. But it was weird because it's been years since I lost that channel, and it's been brought back. So, I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I don't like having more than one channel, and that one was more towards a fetish type crowd. But nonetheless, my mom knows what I do. She knows all of my jobs. And you know, like at one time she was a little bit like, you can't do it in my house, which is funny because it's literally the reason I made her her own studio apartment on my house when I moved her into my house. When I lived in Milwaukee, I had this period, like I had just left Iowa, and I was very much a train wreck, okay? I had lived in Iowa, and my roommate and I were not getting along, and he drove me back to Milwaukee, and I moved in with my mom into her basement. Yes, I was a basement dweller. And my mom is like, you can't do the phone job in my house. And it's always stuck with me. So when I moved her into my house, I made her her own little private area so she wouldn't have to deal with my working. But now she's like, nah, get your money, girl. Like, she understands what I do, and she understands, like, it's all acting, and I'm not doing anything too outrageous. Like, and I'm not at all shaming anyone who does anything more than I do. You know, my stuff is, my videos are solo videos, not like that. Like, most of it I can do dressed. It's eating, burping, weird stuff. I don't know. And I don't talk about it a lot because I know it makes people uncomfortable, but I do it. And people find this stuff and they come here and they're acting like they're doing something. Like, I'm completely honest about what I do for work. I just don't talk about it a lot. You know, like, I know I've had comments from random people. Oh, I saw a video where you were smoking. And so, you know, I know you're a smoker. And, or I saw a video where you were naked. And I'm like, yeah, okay. I don't know. It's kind of funny to me because they really think they did something. They really think they're like exposing me. Like, I have decided at a point to live, about 5-6 years ago, I decided to live my life authentically, because if you're not trying to cover up or hide or lie about anything, you have nothing to keep track of. You know, like when my ex and I divorced, I just was like, you know, because all those years of hiding what was going on with him, and then hiding what happened to me as a child, and then, you know, it just is a lot. And I'm like, I don't want to do that anymore. And if it makes people uncomfortable, I apologize. But it doesn't change who I am as a person, you know? And it gives me the money to do the things like animal transport and whatnot. Like, I'm doing a dog this weekend called Atlas. He's a German Shepherd. He was actually trained by a celebrity trainer. So, and he's going to his forever... Oh, look, I opened up my Facebook, and it's literally the post with Atlas. I don't know if you can see him. That is Atlas. He will be riding in Razakal. No, he will be riding in Miss Razzie Soska this weekend to his freedom. Let's see. I will tell you who the celebrity trainer is. I've never heard of him. Joel Silverman. If you've heard of him, let me know. But it says transport for Atlas, who was chosen for an amazing opportunity training academy with celebrity dog trainer Joel Silverman. He was supposed to go on transport last weekend, but had to be held back for a little more decompression time in Vegas. Silverman partnered up with Trusted Paws Dog Training Academy to teach and certify new franchisees with his dog training certification course. Atlas specifically came from the Dog House Rescue in Reno. Atlas completed training on 6/25 and now needs to be transported to his new home in Tennessee. So yeah, So I'm doing that. I don't know if Josh is coming with. And, it gives me the freedom to mostly, like, my caretaking job is a very rigid schedule. But everything else is pretty much on my own time. And so it gave me time to do fostering. Back when I wasn't even in Albuquerque, it gave me time to do the fostering. And it gave me time to do transports. And it gave me time when I was in Albuquerque to do adoption events and to volunteer for stuff, car washes, all that. Like, I don't get to do that here because the rescue here doesn't really do that too much. And also, like, whenever in the ideals past them, they just didn't want to hear anything. They are very stuck in their ways, which is fine because their ways seem to be working for them. I'm not going to talk bad about them. Those are just me stating facts. When I came to them and said, hey, I'm really good at fundraising, perhaps you'd be interested in this, I was turned down. So that's okay. Like, that's fine. They have their little thrift store, and they have what they do. Not a lot of their stuff is online. Like, right now they're having a 50-50 thing going on, and 50-50 raffle. I was like, hey, is there online options? And they never even got back to me. They never even replied to me because I was going to share it on YouTube. And say, hey, if you want a chance to get some money and help animals, here you go. But they did not respond to me, and that is perfectly okay. Not everything in life needs to be a yes. Sometimes a no is what is needed. I don't know if that makes sense. Some of God's greatest gifts are unanswered prayers. And, I'm not big on religion, but nonetheless, I believe that one. Sometimes the universe tells you no so you can figure something better out. I mean, look, if I was still married to my ex, which, he's dead now, so, I don't know how that would have went, but I wouldn't have been with Josh, and I wouldn't be living my best life. This era of my life is pretty amazing compared to the rest of my life. So, except for, like, when I was 16 and 17, that was a pretty good year, 15. Like, right after my dad went to prison to about the time I moved to Florida at 17, that was a pretty nice moment in my life, too. I had a lot of good times. Yeah, so I don't know. Like I said, I don't really have any family. I have my sister, and I don't talk to her. She used to have a problem with my job because her man told her to have a problem with my job, but here's the thing, she didn't have a problem, and neither did he, asking me for money constantly. So it's like one of those, kind of like my ex had a problem with my job, but then when I would stop working my job and, like, not have money for him to take, it wasn't a problem anymore. So those are really the only problems that any of my family, not that like I said, I literally just have my mom, and then there's Josh, who is totally supportive. And I don't know how my mother-in-law feels about it, but she doesn't say she has a problem with it. So, yeah, that's it. Which is funny because, okay, like, I'm on 23andMe, and I recently found, I'm not going to message the person because it's on my father's side, and that's a little awkward for me. But she actually follows me on Facebook, and I follow her, and it's like, oh, I didn't realize. She probably started following me because she got my name from 23andMe. And it is a little weird. Because, like I said, it's my father's side of the family. And I'm not really sure how to approach any of that. Because, to be honest, okay, like, my father's side of the family, I am the third youngest kid that my father had out of 15. We thought it was 14, but there was one in between my sister and I. That's not my mom's. It's actually my mom's ex-best friend. My my mom's ex-best friend's kid. Didn't know about him until maybe 10 years ago. So out of 15 kids my father had, I am the third youngest. And then my sister is the youngest that we know of. And then there's the one in between us. And then there's all the older ones, which I do know 4 of the older ones, but they have nothing to do with me because of putting my dad in prison. So, and then there were all these family members that I used to kind of know of my dad's side that also have nothing to do with us because of the same reason. And, yeah, I have an aunt that I don't really talk too much anymore. Kind of almost in the same. She's my mom's sister. Yeah, there's a lot of things that are coming up recently in therapy and like also in my brain as I start to do my shadow work. As I'm doing my shadow work and I'm remembering things, because I don't remember a lot of my childhood. But memories are coming up with the shadow work, and I really think that after 45 years, if somebody has not changed their behavior, that they're not gonna, and if it's a toxic behavior, you really need to move along. And that's where that one is. She's about the work I do. She used to have more issues with it than she does now. Because the same thing. As time went on, she's like, oh, that isn't so bad. Okay. Like, my mom has been talking to me while I'm on phone calls sometimes, and she's trying not to laugh her ass off because it's just hilarious to her. Sometimes to me too. And I know I shouldn't say that because there might be a guy watching and be like, don't worry, it's not you. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I mean, like, some things are definitely interesting. And, yeah. Sorry. Like the tickle guy and the sneeze guy. And, I mean, everybody's got their something, and I don't judge, but I may laugh a little, but I don't judge. Just ramble. And I know if I talked about my work more, people might be like, ooh, or they might not. Who knows? I don't know. So yeah, I don't have kids. I don't plan on having kids. I don't know. Like, things might change if I don't know what's going on with custody of my nephew. So things might change eventually at that time, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But right at this moment in time, it does not look like I will. Part of it is the distance. They're in Indiana and I am here in New Mexico, and that is part of it. So, and I don't want to move back up north. I really don't. I do miss Milwaukee at times, but I don't miss Milwaukee. I miss things, and I miss people, and I miss people. And like I said, like I miss Oakland Euros, and I miss friends, and I won't say their names. There's probably like 3 people up there that I really miss. I want to call them out like that, but I know one of them watches. She knows who she is. And I do miss like the art museum and Whole Foods, and I don't even know if it's still open anymore. The Riverside Co-op with the delicious vegan tamales. Anyways, where I first had my vegan jerky. So good. Okay, so back when I lived in Milwaukee, I was vegetarian. So, and in Albuquerque, I was vegetarian for a while too. Here it's just impossible. But I do like to try vegan foods, so I'm not opposed to it. I just don't like having to make them. I was a junk food vegan. Okay, of course I was. But I just don't like having to do all that stuff, and a lot of vegan foods take a lot of preparation and a lot of cooking, and unless you're just eating rice and beans, nobody wants to freaking eat rice and beans all the time. Like, people. What a weird... Okay. They're holding a giant rubber banana. I don't know if you guys saw that. They could have walked in front of me, but they walked around me. That was weird. I'm not cutting them out. They walked around me. Anyways. Oh, and then somebody else was like talking about, again, about the complaining and stuff. And it's like, you know, like, not talking about stuff doesn't make it not exist. So I'm just very open about stuff, you know, like when I'm going through things, and when Josh isn't feeling well, you know, he has chronic illnesses, or he has a chronic illness, you know, it isn't, I don't know how to explain it. He has good days, he has bad days. He's never gonna get 100% better. He's gonna have good days, and he's gonna have bad days. And sometimes it's very sad to think about the fact that my time with him might be limited, you know? So, yeah. It's one of those things. I do get depressed about things like that. I don't think I should have to pop a pill because of it, because it's literally a legitimate reason to be depressed, along with so many other things going on in the world right now. Legitimate reasons to be depressed. I'm not gonna sit there and pop some pills and be like, I'm feeling okay, life is great, because life isn't great all the time. There are things to be happy about in life, but life isn't always happy. And you gotta enjoy the good moments, and the bad moments make the good moments more enjoyable. That's the way I look at it, you know? And it's been stupid hair. It's been a long journey to get to where I am, and I know my emotions are still very, because I have borderline personality disorder, and that one is not like, you know, I was watching on the one video and they're like, oh, these girls love to self-diagnose themselves. That one is not a self-diagnosis. And I've had that diagnosis since 2007. I don't even remember when I was in the mental hospital. They tried to diagnose me with bipolar first. And gave me a bunch of pills that didn't work. Made things worse. And then I remember the doctor saying, oh, you don't want borderline personality disorder, because that stays with you forever. You can't, you know, all that stuff that they like to say, you know, it never goes away, blah, blah, but you can get better. And that's what I want to say to anyone who has borderline and feels like they're going insane sometimes, because your emotions are just like a live wire. They're like a nerve that's been cracked open, and everything is so intense. And when you're feeling that emotion, that is the only emotion you can feel, but you feel it 1,000 times worse than anyone else, you know? But you can get better. You can manage it better. And, you know, I'm still working on mine. I wish I would have had access when I was younger. And I'm not going to blame anybody in my family. And the last person I'm ever going to blame for any of my issues is my mother. My mother has been sick for a very long time. I don't blame her for any of this. I blame the healthy adults that were in my life. I blame the doctor adults that were in my life. I have family that worked in psychiatry who did nothing about my childhood. You know, those are the ones I blame. So I don't blame my mom, because my mom has been in and out of the hospital. She has been given 6 months to live, 7. you know, your mom only has a couple years to live. She has been given that so long. So, like, the fact that my mom is turning 70 this month, and since I was 10 years old, my mom has been in and out of the hospital having issues, is amazing to me. And I love my mom so much. Even if she was never the mom that most people have or expect to have, my mom did the best she could with what she had and what she was given and what she knew, and with her health issues. So I don't blame her for any of this. So, you know, like, and yeah, at some point maybe I could have got my own help, which I did kind of go to a mental hospital, and I was there for a while, but also with the insurance and stuff, and I was only working fast food jobs, so I didn't have good insurance. I didn't have the insurance to see doctors and stuff. And, you know, also I was still in my I don't need therapy phase. Anyways, you know how it goes when you're younger. But I don't think, hey, what could I have done with my life if, you know, I had a good father? What could I have done with my life if my mom wasn't sick? What would I have done with my life if I went to therapy sooner? There's no reason to sit and look at that and be like, oh, what would I have done with my life if I was skinny? Nah, F that. So, you know, it is what it is, and I'm not complaining. I'm just saying. So, you know. Anyways, if you guys ever have any questions, feel free to ask. I will get to them eventually, probably. There's only a few questions that I won't answer, and I don't know what those are yet, but I'm sure they'll come up eventually. But yeah, that's enough for this today. 40 minutes is enough. It's a little under 40 minutes. I'm gonna put my seatbelt on and go home. Spend some time with my dogs. Josh isn't feeling well, so he's laying down. He was in the ER this weekend, just for a little while. The doctor sucked. The 4th of July was just a little too much for him. He overdid it. He lifted more stuff than he should have in the heat, and, you know, I understand. You know, when you're used to being the strong one and you're used to doing all these things, having to not be able to do these things can be to the ego of a man. So I get it. Asking for help sometimes isn't the easiest thing for people to learn how to do. So I get it. I'm still like, you should have asked me for help. But he's getting better at it. Yeah, we had a little cookout. Not us, but like a friend of his had a cookout at his dispensary. And Josh brought some tables and helped set up. And I think he might have cooked the burgers. I don't remember. And you know, it was kind of hot this weekend. And he had a burger and a hot dog. And I don't think he took his pill afterwards that he's supposed to take when he eats food. So it was a whole thing, like a perfect storm. So he's still on the mend. So, anyways. Okay, for reals though. I'm gonna go. Thanks for watching. Thank you for being here. I appreciate everyone, and thank you to my members of my channel who get all the trauma dumping and all the tea and all the gossip. And in the next few months, I will be sending out shirts to people who have been a member for more than a year. And next week or so, I will be sending out bumper stickers to people. So, you know, in the membership. And till next time, stay humble, stay kind, and look out for the normal people. Laters.